Good morning. Welcome to I was going to say another thing, but I know where I'm at. I'm in Tacoma at the Unity Church this morning. Can't fool me. Anyway, so hi everybody, and this opening song is You Are the Blessing to the World, and so we'll start it off with You Are a Blessing to the World, so please join us. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. Let's sing that again. We are the heart. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. You're a blessing to the world. We're a blessing to the world.
Thank you. Hello and welcome to Unity of Tacoma. It's so nice to see you here today. It's nice to have you here on the live stream. My name is Reverend Erwin Johnson, and I am the spiritual leader for today. And I use the pronouns she and her. And if this is your first time visiting, welcome. If you've been here before and you've decided to visit us again, welcome back. We're so glad that you've decided to join us this wonderful Sunday morning to be here and to celebrate the Unity World Day of Prayer, which is what we're going to be doing today. So I'd like to introduce my musical guest, though. You just heard Stephen Plummer, and really excited to have all of the music she has to offer. She's always awesome and really going to put us in the mood to be able to get into that rhythmic prayer we're going to be doing today. Today, we are observing Unity World Day of Prayer, and we are actually, I think that was actually on Thursday, but because we aren't here on Thursdays, we decided to do it today, and we were going to celebrate a World Day of Prayer with a drum circle today. So that's going to be different for us. We're going to have a different format. We're going to be doing a different, so if you've been here before and you know that we do it a certain way, it's going to be a little bit different. So novelty is always great. It's good for the brain. So new ideas, new things, doing new things in a different way. This is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'd like to start off today, though, with our announcements. And usually we do the announcements at the end, but because we're going to be ending up with this wonderful drum circle at the end, I would really like to let you know what's happening here at Unity before we get started. So next Sunday, September 18th, our musical guest is Dallas Talley. So I'm looking forward to that next weekend. In 2 weeks, on Sunday, September 25th, we have Curtis Beach, who's going to be here and talking to us about his journey and on our Idea Sunday, which is Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Access program that we have. And so he's going to be telling us his story and sharing his journey with us. So I'm really excited to have Curtis here to be able to share his life with us and his experience. We have another special guest on October 2nd, my good friend Nikki Weldon's going to be here. She's wonderful. She's going to be giving advice for families and families with children. And her goal, she says, is to help families prioritize their emotional well-being, strengthen relationships, and be able to parent well. So I'm really excited to have her with us. That will be October 2nd. And then the following week, we have Faith in Action. And Faith in Action, if you've been here before, you know that that is 6 weeks of wonderful communion with a specific book that we've chosen. And we have artwork that we're going to be doing and book studies and the ability for me to be able to talk about that subject each week for 6 weeks. That starts on October 9th. And our book this year is Anam Cara, a book of Celtic wisdom by John O'Donohue. And if you're interested in finding out more, go to our website at unityoftacoma.org, and that will tell you exactly what's going on, what the book is about, and then how you can contact us. You can contact me at lori@unityoftacoma.org, and you can send me an email and say, hey, I want to be involved in this, whatever it is that you would like to do, whether it be a piece of artwork, or if you would like to have your affirmation put up, or if you would like to be involved in a book study, or any of those things. Just let me know by emailing me at lori@unityoftacoma.org, and you can be part of Faith in Action this year. So that's going to be really fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to start off today with the prayer for protection. And most of you know the prayer for protection. But if you do not know the prayer for protection, just close your eyes and listen. It's a beautiful, beautiful, short, but wonderful and powerful prayer. So let us pray. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God unfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And the prayer for today is actually a prayer written by it's not Unity Worldwide, but the Unity Headquarters, sorry. And Unity Headquarters wrote this wonderful prayer for everybody, and everyone is sharing it, so I would like to share it with you today. And the prayer is called Holding the High Watch, World Day of Prayer 2022. Let us pray. With an inward and upward gaze, I rise from human concerns so that I might revel in the indwelling Spirit. I take my place in the seat of prayer, in the radiance of divine light. I hold the high watch for all people, knowing the truth of oneness and wholeness. I am one with love that lifts the sorrowful and suffering. I am one with divine light by which they heal. I am one with divine wisdom that beams like a lighthouse, shining light on the path ahead. My eyes of faith have a view of the horizon up here on the mountaintops of awareness. I wait watchfully. I view the fulfillment of dreams and intentions for me and for all of those and with whom I pray, without obstruction and in a state of expectancy. My vision is far-reaching as I hold the high watch. I say, Amen, let it be, and so it is. I'm going to invite Stephan back, and we're going to have some more music before I go into a very short message today.
So I want to talk about this song for a little bit. I talked to Reverend Lori, and she said, you should talk about that. So when 9/11 happened, I was in Seattle on Queen Anne Avenue. I had just come from the Tully's coffee shop, and I was standing there, and the sun was shining beautiful. I had my had a bagel and some tea, because I don't drink coffee, actually. I'm very sensitive to coffee. So I saw a newscast party down at the corner, and it was positioned between where I was, which was Tully's, and they were standing by the Starbucks. And I saw them heading my way, and I thought, this is going to be really hilarious, because I had made it up in my mind that they were going to say, you know, which coffee place do you like better and why, right? So I already had this story in my head. So there's the camera, and you know, it's live TV, and the reporter says, you know, what is your response to what has happened this morning? So I was completely thrown, and I said, what are you talking about? And I mean, that's how I literally found out about 9/11. Was with the camera and a mic in my face. And the words that came out, well, he said, "What do you think we should do?" And the words that came out instantly was, "I think that we should all just start loving each other more." And I just saw his face just go completely blank. And he just, like, I wasn't sure what was going on. You know, he didn't seem to resonate, obviously, with my response. But later in the day, I found out that, you know, because everybody that I heard on the news was like, "Oh, you know, we should go bomb all these places." And I thought, oh, well, that's probably why I got that kind of a look at my response. But, you know, I found out something really deep about myself that day, was that was what was really there within me, you know, beyond all of the rage and anger and upset and all of the stuff that's totally human and totally understandable. That I found that the compassion was there, the first thing, and I was happy about that, to find that out. So anyway, so then the song came out really quickly after that, and it's called Heartbeat. And you know, my goal was that I wanted to give every New Yorker a copy of the CD, and so I put it out as a single, and I thought, wow, like, I don't know how many people are in New York. It was like 6 million in the city or something. Anyway, but I really dedicated it from my heart to every person in New York, and all of us as well. But so I call it Heartbeat, and it definitely is my heart song, one of my heart songs. So, and I haven't played it for a really long time, so if I mess up, forgive me. But I knew there was going to be a drum circle here today, and I knew that it was 9/11, so I thought, oh, it's obvious that I should play this song. So it's been a long time. So.
Remember where you were at the moment that you heard. Images in my head and the tears that I've shed. I can't get over it or under it or through it, but I never stop believing in me and you. Heartbeat. The city lives on and on. Heartbeat. In the strength of us all. Heartbeat. Keeps us moving on. Heartbeat. It's the soul's rhythm song. I never thought the day would come when the night would be so long. Planes hit, buildings fell, people died. Killing in the name of what? There's no hate that can kill love, because love will always rise above. It's like the blood that pumps through our veins. One and all in one, it's the same. Heartbeat. The city lives on and on. Heartbeat. In the strength of us all. Heartbeat. Keeps us moving on. Heartbeat. It's the soul's rhythm song. What to do with the rest of our lives when the children's eyes are looking to us for the truth? What do we do? Take a stand, hold a hand. Love the ones who live right next to you, and we won't lose. Remember who you are when you reach for the stars but come up with empty hands. It's just a place to start, to create, to begin again. Right here is the present. Right now is the gift. Their lights are burning brightly. They touched my soul and I've changed. And my heart beats. Heartbeat. The city lives on and on. Heartbeat. And the strength of us all. Heartbeat. Keeps us moving on. Heartbeat. It's a soul's rhythm song. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing that story and that wonderful song. Thank you. Our affirmation for today. Our affirmation for today is I pray with an elevated mind and an open heart. Let's say that together. I pray with an elevated mind and an open heart. And our reading for today is from a book that I have at home that sits at the bedside. You know, you always have those books that sit at the bedside. You might not read them a lot, but when you need them, they're always there. And this is one of my bedside books. It is by S. Brent Plate, A History of Religion in 5.5 Objects. And he says, the drum is one of the most essential and widespread musical instruments in the history of human cultures. Drum beats knit us into the cosmic fabric of the universe, into the social fabric of families and lovers, and into the rich textures of religious traditions. The sound of the drum reaches our eardrums, sonic percussions that draw people together in space just as it pulsates in time, co-creating melody, harmony, rhythm, and tone. The drum measures time, providing a sonic background for jazz trumpeters and suitor residing monks alike. Rhythm is deeply rooted in human bodies and thus is consciousness itself, which may go some way to understand why drums figure prominently among the creation stories of the peoples of the world. Drums are divine gifts, and the object itself possesses powers, as does the sound produced from it. The drum and the beat are innately intertwined, and as the drum beat reaches the human body, the body begins to move, dance, groove, tapping and praising. Drums are a vital source of sonic sacrality. As instruments, they are innately tied to the sounds that they make, even as layers of sacredness dovetail and diverge between drum, drummer, and drum beat. Like smoke from incense or the spoken word, the drum beat is ephemeral. Thus, a key component of sacred nature of drums is feeding, uncontainable, and unprocessable. We can feed the drum, but not the drum beat. This can have its advantages in sacred settings because it reaffirms the presence of community in the here and in the now, emphasizing special times and spaces. The drum beat is heard here, but not there. Echoing beats waft through spaces into the ear and body and then fade. If the sound itself disappears, the pulsing nonetheless reverberates through the other creatures and objects, flowing through and connecting animals, vegetables, minerals, humans, and the divine. To write a history, then, whether it's music or religion, it seems we have to stick to the hard, moderately, permanently wood and skin instrument and let the beats echo in the air, in trees, and in our minds. And our spiritual lesson for today is Maya Angelou. She said, "Everything in the universe has a rhythm and everything dances." So I thought it was really appropriate this week because my husband and I were watching Disney Plus, and if you did not know, Thor came out on Thursday, Thor Love and Thunder. It's very important to those of us that are fans. That came out on Thursday, so we watched it, of course, on Thursday, and we watched it. It was 2 hours, so it was short for a Marvel movie. So after it was all done, then we were thinking, so what are we going to watch now? Because it was fairly early still, it wasn't bedtime. And of course, Disney is obliged to tell you or recommend things that you would like to see, and so of course it did. Now, you know that Disney and other streaming services, they pick up on your habits and the types of things that you watch, and that's how they give you the algorithm that provides you with what it is that they think that you would really like. And I don't know whether it's because I watched Hamilton or I watched Thor or I watched something else on Disney Plus, but they suggested that we watch the BTS concert. Now, if you are unfamiliar with BTS, BTS is a Korean pop sensation. There are 7 members, I believe, in that K-pop band. It's K-pop, by the way, for those of you who do not know. 7 members, and my daughter, I remember 20 years ago, she was super into K-pop. And it was a fringe thing that now it's so popular that you can just turn on anything and you can hear K-pop. But at that time, it was very fringe. And they didn't have social media like they do today. So we didn't have YouTube or anything to be able to look up a song. So on one night a week, there was a streaming of this K-pop video station from Korea. And they would have these wonderful, beautiful people singing this K-pop music. And I didn't understand any of it. But my daughter, she really, really loved it. And my husband was escorted all of her and her friends to anime conventions and all of that. So it was a huge part of her life growing up. So for some reason, Disney Plus decided that we needed to watch K-pop that night. And so we did. And I was like, I haven't heard K-pop in a really long time, so let's watch it. We didn't have anything else to do, and so we're sitting there in our living room, and K-pop. So here comes BTS. Huge concert. Huge. They're in Los Angeles. And this happened, I think 2021, so it was last year. Huge concert. There were 70,000 seats that were filled. It was humongous. And I was overwhelmed just about how many people were in the seats. And it was not only were there so many people, but each individual person in the audience had a cute little light that was a little ball-shaped light that they held with them. And they held it in the audience, and that was connected to some kind of switch that changed color as they changed color on the stage. So not only did they have beautiful colors on the stage, but in the audience, each person had a little light that changed automatically with what was going on the stage and the music that was playing. So it was a sensory experience. It wasn't just there because I like K-pop, and they have great music. They're great singers. I love them. They were great. They were entertaining. They worked really hard for 2 hours dancing on stage. I mean, I just cannot imagine doing that for 2 hours. But they were very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. We watched it the entire 2 hours, and even though I am not somebody that would listen to that, it does bring back memories that I had with my daughter when she was younger. And teenagers, she really didn't really care very much about us, except for the fact that she had the TV between this time period on Thursday nights where she could watch her K-pop videos. And so we did this the other night. But the really cool thing, like I said, it wasn't just the fact that there were so many people. And it wasn't the fact that they were really talented, or that they were not just singing but dancing and all of that, and that they weren't beautiful. They were gorgeous. They had wonderful outfits, and they were just beautiful people. And they were jumping and dancing, and just the whole time, 2 hours, it was just so impressive. But it wasn't that so much that impressed me, was how involved every single person, 70,000 people, were within this performance. They were so enthralled that they were screaming and they were jumping and they were just totally into it. And I could see girls crying and moms, and even moms were out there just screaming and hollering, and you're like, wow, this is an event. This is a movement. And it reminds me that we have celebrated life in many different ways with music and rhythm. Whether it be when your parents sing to you while they're walking you to sleep, and when you're a tiny baby, or as you get older, when you start to rebel from what your parents listen to and start listening to music of your own, or after you get married and you have this big party and there's lots of music and dancing involved with that. And hopefully throughout your life you enjoy music in other ways. But it is such a part of who we are as human beings that it goes back thousands of years. The oldest music instrument that we know of was on display in England just earlier this year, and it goes back 500,000 years, and it is a bone flute. And so that is incredible how long that is. That's so far away. And in 2015, they also they found a drum that was 5,000 years old that were buried with some children outside Stonehenge in England. So we know that instruments have been part of the human experience since probably when they figured out that they could use a bone as a flute. So a long, long time ago. And we know that shamans and monks and priests and healers all use music to be able to reach across the realms of our physical experience into the ethereal realm of God. And Unity founder Charles Fillmore talked about music a lot, and he also wrote music. And in chapter 13 of his book, Dynamics for Living, he said, "The spirit of music is within us all. When we have developed and brought it forth, when the quickening, harmonizing life has entered the physical by the union of God with man, then we will realize that there is a power in us which will produce harmony, and harmony is health." Music heals. And for those of us that have been in the healing modalities know that using music while you're healing is extremely important to boost up that healing that you are giving. I know when I was a massage therapist, I used music all the time. And it not only did it relax the individual, it also relaxed me. And so when I was giving that healing massage and when I was giving those healing treatments, it really helped me to have the music, and it really guided me into a space of meditation and got me to the heart, to the core of who I was. But we know that it heals, it reduces anxiety. There are lots of physical effects that it decreases, such as those that come from very stressful things in our lives. It can manage Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's. They have all kinds of studies on how music can bring back memories that otherwise wouldn't have been brought back. So it's really interesting how they use music in those modalities. And it helps reduce symptoms of all psychological disorders. So, for example, if you're upset, you turn on some music, it can calm your soul, calm your mind, calm your brain. And it just also just helps with our personal expression of things we cannot explain. Through music, we can express those things about God or the feelings that we have just by listening to or playing or singing music. There are some interesting facts about music and about rhythm that you probably know or don't know, but your heartbeat changes whenever you hear music to mimic the beat of the music. Distinguished changes in sound are found to be equipped, so we can distinguish those things as early as when we're a fetus. So as soon as we're able to feel and to hear, we know those changes in beat. Listening to happy versus sad music can encourage those types of emotions. So if you listen to something sad, it can make you sad. You listen to something happy, it can make you happy. Music triggers the same part of the brain that releases dopamine. So those of you that are into your phones and really enjoy getting that dopamine hit when you pick it up, listen to your music. It'll help you, give you that same hit. Music triggers neurons in the brain and improves your fine motor and your reasoning skills. So music is really, really important to creating the overall experience of us as human beings. And I think we would be less without having music in our lives. Now I want to go back to BTS and the Korean pop band and how much my daughter enjoyed Korean pop when she was younger. And that was 20 years ago. And I texted her. I said, you know what your dad and I are watching? And I said, we're watching BTS. And she goes, I really love them. I said, of course you do. But it also reminds me that her inspiration at the time, her 15-year-old self, was inspired to write in to this station that had these Korean videos. And she was inspired to write in something about me, to thank me for being a great mom. And I was shocked. And so Korean pop then inspired her to be able to think deeper, to touch into emotions that she may not have otherwise noticed. She wrote this wonderful letter that I still have today, and they announced it on the air. And so it was really cool how that happened. So music inspires. It gets you in touch with something deeper and beyond you. And I am so excited to be able to share this opportunity to be able to play and sing and to hear the wonderful music we're going to have here in just a moment. But just remember, if you need a little boost of dopamine or if you need to feel a little bit better, turn on your radio and maybe even Disney Plus and watch BTS. There's a little plug. So before we go into our drum circle, I'm going to invite Stephan back for another song, and then we'll all gather for the drumming. Sorry. I know, she doesn't have we changed things up today, so yeah.
I only know 5 million songs, so. You know the one I was thinking. It's not a church song, but, about the beat, And the beat goes on, right? And the beat goes on. What's the words? Drums keep pounding rhythm to the brain. Why not? La da 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 dee. La da 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 da. And the beat goes on. Dum dum da dum. And the beat goes on. Ba ba da dum. I'm gonna be Carol K on the bass. Drums keep pounding rhythm to the brain. La da 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 dee, bum ba da dum. La da 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 da, bum ba da dum. And the beat goes on, and the beat goes on. How's that?
All right, for those of you that are out there in live stream land, if you have an instrument, whatever that may be, if you have a pan and a spoon would work really well. If you have hands to clap or a voice to sing, please be involved in this wonderful experience we're going to have here in just a moment. So we're gonna gather up here at the front with our little chairs that we have here with the instruments. We have people that are in the audience today that have instruments that they're going to share. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm just going to give them a second to get all situated. We have Carlton Lewis today who's going to guide us in this wonderful opportunity to play. Okay. I think I might participate as well. Let me do this.
Okay, we should have told you on the table we have the rhythms and the cadence. The nice thing about drum circles is there's nothing to worry about. Doesn't matter if it's good, bad,
I don't need one. I've already seen it.
just have fun. Just one. It's a lot to hold. Okay, so nice thing about drumming is that it's just organic. Little babies do it, pets do it, your cat needs and everything. So that's what you should feel about. It's just this organic kind of feeling about this rhythm moving through you. And I was doing some research on drum circles, came across this senior citizen who came up with this mnemonic device for people in where she's living. And so she gave them these phrases that they can use, to play. The first one was, I love apple pie. And so it's, I love apple pie. So it's normal, The next one, which we have 5. Okay. Easy. Here. Okay, ready? So it's I love to play my drums. Normal, quick, Now it gets fun. Now in the vernacular, as Stephan knows, we're going to get into triplets. Well, the second part. So it's normal, 1, 2, 3. Mashed potatoes, 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 mashed potatoes. See? And this is called the downbeat. Got it? All right. Now this is hot chocolate, which is really a lot of fun. So it's hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate. Doesn't matter. Okay. And the last one is real easy. It's called heartbeat. It's simple, but it's very, very powerful. So it's got a very, very strong downbeat. So it's pause, I love apple pie. A little faster. Keep the rhythm. Right? Now, I love to play my drums. 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 Normal, 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 quick, quick, quick. I love to play my drums. If you start losing containment, just slow down. I love to play my drums. I love to play my drums. I love to play my drums. Okay? All right. So now let's put them both together. So we're going to do 3 beats of apple pie and 3 beats of I love to play my drums. I love apple pie. I love apple pie. I love apple pie. I love to play my drums. I love to play my drums. I love to play my drums. All right. How's you doing? All right. So you know I'm ready to add the third one? Mashed potatoes. Once you put those in the middle so everyone can see, that's a great idea. So what's number 3? Right. Right. Mashed potatoes. Okay. Now you try to put all 3 together. Think you can do it? Now let's do it slow, okay? Okay, 3 of each. Ready? I love apple pie. I love apple pie. I love apple pie. I love to play my drums. I love to play my drums. I love to play my drums. Yeah, you got to slide in the mashed potatoes. Okay, it's okay. Let's try it again from the top. So what our goal is to get all 5 of them and play them all together. Then then you get to select one you want to play, and then you just play that, and everyone plays it what they want to play. Okay? Don't look at me that way like I did something wrong. Ready? Okay. We're doing hot chocolate. You ready? No, we're going to. Right. Ready? Come on, do it. Say it out loud. So. Hot chocolate. Hey, come on, it's just hot chocolate. Hot chocolate. Hot chocolate. They're triplets. They're just fast triplets. There you go. It's all right. That's right. Now let's do the heartbeat. Go ready? For the heartbeat. Downbeat. Pause. Downbeat. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Ready? Downbeat. Pause. That's okay. Okay. I'm trouble. Okay, it's just. No, it's okay. So it's downbeat. Come on. Pause. Heartbeat. Ready? Okay. That's it. All right. So we put all of them together. Do you want to do 3 or 2? Which one? How's the group feel? 3. Okay. So we're going to start with apple pie. Then we go to love my drums, mashed potatoes, hot chocolate, and heartbeat. Okay. Now let's try and do them slow and controlled, okay? It's all right. It's all right. Okay, ready? I love apple pie. I love apple pie. I love apple pie. Change. I want to play my drums. I want to play my drums. I want to play my drums. Okay, mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes. Okay, in transition, you're going from quarter notes, one beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, to triplets. So the best thing to do is tap your foot. Or if you don't like the triplets, we'll just toss them out, okay? Now, how's the group feel? All right? So now we're going to do, we're going to go to hot chocolate and heartbeat, okay?
Why don't you play something and then we follow?
That would not work.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So you ready? Or this is going to be hot chocolate. Ready? Hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate, hot chocolate.
I struggle with this one.
And then you got heartbeat. Pause. Okay. Now, which one would you like to play? See, so long as you keep a rhythm going,
I just go crazy.
you play.
I'm doing them all because this all made me hungry now.
So, you just, once you get a basic rhythm going inside of yourself, you can just play, then you can play off against each other. So if you want to do that, it's cool. So,
That was fun.
so
All right, Stephan, you start off.
One, two, three, four. You always count to four. Then it's okay. No. I'll tell you, that's when you. You start off with.
That was fun. That was fun. I just wish my drum was a little bit bigger.
I'm pretty set on I love apple pies.
Come on. One, two, three, four. See, you can play around the rhythm. Next. She doubts. Yeah, you don't have to, those are just basic rhythms to get you used to it. Whatever you want to do. Come on, you got it. Come on. getting better, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Rev.
I want to play my drum. So normal, switch, switch, switch.
Okay. Bring it home. From what you've heard, if you want to do something on your own, that's cool. No fear. Woo! Go ahead. There you go. Okay, now somebody, this time, she's going to start off with, so let's start off with, just do the opposite. So who wants to do the opposite? You can do it. There you go. Okay, so when you feel it, just join in. There you go. There you go. Play around with music. Go ahead. One, two, three, four. It's called syncopation, people.
Ready for Hollywood. All right, Carl, can you show us what you want to do, and then we'll go with you.
Okay, I'll do it. It's real simple.
Okay.
In drumming, there's something called rudiments. I'm sure you're familiar with that. There's 26 basic rudiments, and it's called NARD, National Association of Rudimentary Drumming. And if you want to be like really cool, you get your NARD certification. You have to go in front of a committee. It's like, getting your PhD or your master's degree. They test you out, and you always fail the first time. Because these folks are incredible. But you have things like, a flam, paradiddle. It's right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. You have flamacue, the roll, obviously, and all that. But it's really cool when they have exhibitions. They can take these what normal, what you say, kind of nerdy kind of things, and make them sound really, really pretty when you put them together. So start off with like something really simple, like. It's simple 8 notes: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 4 and come on, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4.
Well, Stephan, can you take us out with a song? Yeah. All right, let's do that. Well, I don't think I don't know how well I'm going to do with that.
Okay. How about Let There Be Peace?
Yes. And if you would like, please stand.
And join hands if you feel like it. And yeah. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our center. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Stephan. Thank you to Carlton. Thank you to all of our drummers. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and you have a wonderful week.